Yes! Yes! So welcome to what's meant to be Mozza Versus, but the boys have bottled it, all of them. Jim, he was too scared, he said it would ruin his Christmas. Scott Day, he's gone abroad, I think, he was that scared. So you're now joining me at Elphick's Fishery, and we're going to be doing an in-session piece here. Now this is a mega winter water. There is some absolute monsters that live in here, and hopefully we can catch a few for you. So in the meantime, the barrow, as you can see, is loaded. We're going to be fishing the North Lake on the complex, and fingers crossed there's a few bites to be had. So this is the swim in question, and as you can see, I'm a little bit hemmed in here, but it's on the back of this wind. It's not a freezing cold wind, but I was here last week on one of the other lakes, Given, but all the fish that were caught on that were pretty much on the back of the wind. So I'm sort of using that as to where to go. I've had a walk around this morning, haven't seen anything, but they can be very localised on here, where, i.e. a lot of the fish just group up in these tiny little areas, and you've got to be right on top of them to catch. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the right choice to swim. I've only got 24 hours, so not a lot of time at all really. So getting the location right from the off is absolutely key without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm going to just hold fire for a minute, wait for the other lads to sort of wake up. Like I say, there's 3 others on the lake. Go and have a word with them, see if any of those guys have caught any out in the open water, and that might make my decision of where to go a little bit easier. I've decided to set up in the swim that I chose early hours of this morning, off the back of actually seeing a carp out in front of this swim. So obviously with it being winter time, any sort of shows, you just got to act on them, and luckily enough for me, it was in the swim that I chose this morning. I've spoken to the guys to my left hand side. Unfortunately, he's not had anything or seen anything, and I don't think anyone else has had anything either. So that's not what you want to be hearing ideally, especially in the winter, that nothing's been out. But you know, you've maybe they're just not set up on them, I don't know, but you would like to think that a lake like this with so many big fish in and with so much winter form, it might have done something for the lads that are on here. So there's a geezer that's on the opposite bank. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know what he's had or whether he's had anything or not. But yeah, let's just hope that I've got my location right. With obviously seeing that one that's out there, it's sort of shown me the spot. It's 10.5 reps, which is around about middle of the lake for this place. It's not a massive lake. I would say it's about 6 acres tops, I'd say this place is. So yeah, you know, I'm going to put about 10 spods out. I'm spodding out maggots, and I'm actually putting a hydro liquid within the maggots, and what that does is it stops the gulls absolutely punishing you. So everyone that knows that if you're spodding maggots out in the pond, the seagulls just love it and they get all over you. Well, if you put a heavy liquid on them, that drags them down and the seagulls tend to leave you alone. Although the coot's decided to get on the dance floor and he wants a little go, but he's only going to get 1 or 2 of them. So yeah, that is the plan of attack for this. I don't know what I'm going to do with my third rod as yet. I'm probably going to see if anything else shows out in the pond, but in the meantime, going to get a few more spots on the spot. So the rigs that I'm actually going to be going in with is my ever faithful 360 rigs. All 3 rods set up pretty much the same. The only difference being is that they're 3 different colours. 2 of them are meant to be the same colour, but one's gone a bit darker. But anyway, this is the rig in mind. And for anyone that hasn't seen it, 360 pretty much stands for when the hook goes straight through the swivel there, so you're not actually tying the hook on as such. You actually just put the hook through the eye of the swivel, and then it obviously can rotate 360 style, hence the name. Now the way I like to fish it is on a stiff boom on fluorocarbon. Like I say, out in the pond there's not a lot of low line weed. That's probably the only time I wouldn't use this rig, to be honest, is if there is a bit of low line weed out there, the rig can sort of sit funny and stick up. I'll go for a more supple sort of braid. But I love the fact that the fluorocarbon, you know, not only kicks it away from the lead, but you know, if you're being picked up, which I'm sure all of us, you know, we're all getting our rigs picked up, it'll always reset itself. But 9 times out of 10, whenever this goes in the fish's mouth, it can't deal with it because of the 360 style, and it hooks them almost every single time. Well, that's what I think anyway. So that's on a lead clip setup. I'm fishing it naked style. Always fish it naked style now. There's a lot of bans on a lot of waters where you can't use lead core or leaders, etc. So, you know, for my own confidence boost, I just always use it naked all the way through. So I've got a slick lead clip on this, a 4-ounce lead. I like a big heavy lead to send it home. I'm only fishing 10.5 wraps, so I'm not using the lead to get any distance as such, but I like the fact that the weight of that lead, whenever the fish pick it up and feel the resistance of lead, it always sends the hook home. So coming down, I've got a tungsten anti-tangle sleeve. And then down by the business end, I like to fish this with a big loop. It gives the rig a lot of free movement, or the hook should I say, a lot of free movement. And I like to use a big blobber putty. This again, you know, just make sure that that hook drops down into the fish's mouth whenever they pick up the hook bait. And then moving up, that's a size 11 ring swivel. Always use a size 11. If you use anything bigger, 9 times out of 10, the eye of the hook will pass through the swivel, which is not what you want. So the hook in question that I always use for the 360 rig is the medium curve. Now it's a barbless rule on here, so I'm obviously using the barbless hooks in a size 6. And to be honest, recently I was chatting to a mate about this, and I was always very unconfident using a barbless hook, just because, you know, I'm always scared, I suppose, of the hook coming out and you losing the fish. But a friend of mine said that he's adamant he always gets more bites with a barbless hook due to the fact that that barb, you know, isn't hindering the hook going home as such. So I've sort of taken that on board, and it's given me that little bit of a confidence boost, should I say, using barbless hooks. Now the hook bait itself is a little ball of plastic, as you can see, and inside there I've got a size 16 hook, and basically that enables me to hook on the maggots nice and easy. But not only that, it allows me to hook on a little mesh bag. Now what I do is I double these bags up, so I tie it as you normally would, but then pass the bag back through the tube and then back out the other end and tie it again. So that double wraps the actual mesh bag itself, which then stops you from bursting the maggots when you actually put the hook bait on. So what I do is I actually use the size 16 hook to actually hook through one layer of the mesh bag, and then push the plastic down so that the hook point is completely covered. So as you can see there, the actual hook bait's attached to the bag, and then I use the actual fishing hook to hook through the bag like so, so that when it's in flight, that's not going to tangle or move, and it's absolutely perfect for maggot fishing. And it also enables you to give you a little bit of time. If you only single mesh these bags, your maggots start crawling out through the holes. If you double bag them, gives you that little bit more time to get the rook bait out into the pond. So it's mid-morning now, and yeah, nothing's happened as of yet. With the third rod, I was, you know, hoping to sort of see something show out in the pond, just to, you know, for me to put it somewhere else, I suppose, rather than on top of the other two rods. But nothing's shown at all, and I wanted to get the rod in. So what I've done is I've put that third rod on the same spot as well. I've seen here in the past that you can get bites quite quickly. Obviously, if you're on them, you'll get bites within the first few hours of the session. So I'm gonna sort of play it by ear, I suppose. There's still a bit of space on the bank opposite. The wind's hammering over there. There might be a group of fish that side. So I could be up for a move, maybe. All I need to do is obviously see something show on that opposite side, and I'll probably move on it. But in the meantime, I've got all three rods on the same spot where I saw that fish show early hours of this morning. And like I say, nothing's happened as of yet, but I'm still very hopeful that this is the right area that I'm meant to be in. Animal. Yes! Yes! That is a beast. That looks like a good one to me. Yeah, man. Rio all day long. Yes! Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm just dwelling in my own glory at the minute. Ah, oh, yes, what a palaver that was. Well, unfortunately, you've come to the very end of the fight due to the fact that it wiped another rod out, even though it kited left away from the middle rod, and then the middle rod started to go, so we thought it was another fish. And then it ended up not being another fish, and as that middle rod got reeled in, it wrapped round this rod, so we had a palaver. So Brad couldn't bite the line. I had to walk back to the end of the swim, bite the line, take the line off it. Whilst that's all going on, it's wiping out the other third one. Absolute carnage that I'm sure everyone can relate to whenever they're carp fishing, but I've got an absolute animal of a common in the net, and I couldn't be happier. Yes! Look at that beast! I don't want to say it, I don't think it's 4-0, but he ain't a million miles off.
It's definitely an upper 30.
Yeah, mate.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it has to be. Look at it.
I don't know.
Mate, it could be, couldn't it? It's got the depth of a 40.
Put it on his side?
Nah, no. He's not 40, but he's definitely 35 plus. Yes! 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 Oh, I'm buzzing! Come on, the December pig! Yes! 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 Get in there, you bad boy! Oh, I am absolutely buzzing. Catching a carp any time of the year is epic, but it always makes it that little bit sweeter when it's literally a week before Christmas. So you couldn't have a better Christmas present than catching yourself a definite 30-pounder, that's for sure. I'd like to think, looking at it in the net, I've not picked it up, I'm going to call it a, I don't know, 36 pound, I reckon. He's just not got the length, I don't think. He's not got the length of a 40-pounder. Yeah, he's just lacking in length. Bless him. Ready? Yeah, no, he's not. He's 34, 35. No. Mate! Come on then, beast. Oh man. Are you ready? I'm ready. Oh man, what a fish. Yeah, go for it. Water anywhere. Oh yes. Oh man. Are you ready? Wow. When it comes to December carp, they don't come much better than this. 41 pounds, 6 ounces of immaculate common. There's no other ways to describe this epic carp. I can't believe it. When it went in the net, I thought, yeah, you know, we got ourselves a 30-pounder here. And when it went on the scales, I picked it up with one finger and it went 41.6. Yes! Oh man, no one in the world is happier than I am right now. Unbelievable, mega creature, can't believe it. And all the blanks and just like the tough sessions that I've gone through, it all makes it worthwhile when you've got a beast like this in your hands. You've just got to keep on doing it. Absolutely epic. I am truly buzzing. Yes! I am the happiest man alive. Look at that. What a beast. Well, good morning then, and this morning has been savage with the weather. It's been pouring down, the swim's in a right mess, bog ridden, but I couldn't be happier. I'm still on cloud 9 from that fish last night. I'm absolutely buzzing, can't believe it still. But nothing else has happened, strangely enough, and normally you'd like to think if you get one bite, a few more bites might follow, but that's just not been the case for some reason. Bit of a weird one. I put a little bit more bait out, I chucked the rods back out. I'm always a bit dubious of, obviously, when you're fishing 2 rods on one spot right next to one another, a little bit worried that you might have crossed one over or on the other sort of thing. But looking at the way the lines are pointing this morning, I don't think I could have hand placed them any better. I put a little bit more bait out last night, probably put another 7 spods over the top. Obviously, if you're fishing with maggots, you get a bite, especially from a big one. If he kicks off on the spot, a lot of them maggots are going to get obviously washed or wafted away, should we say. So yeah, as it stands at the minute, still waiting for another bite. If that comes or not, I don't really care, to be honest, because I'm still, like I say, buzzing me rockers off. So we've slightly gone over 24 hours now. Gonna pack up in a little while. It would be nice for the kit to dry out, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And yeah, like I say, there's about, probably gonna give it a couple more hours. So like I say, just over 24 hours this session, and to catch a 41 pounder on a 24-hour trip anywhere on this planet is absolutely mega in my eyes. To finish where it all started then. Epic, brilliant session that one was. So I've got to say a thank you to Jim Wilson for bottling it, Scotty Day for bottling it, because to catch a 41 pounder any time of the year, like I say, is magnificent, but to catch one in December makes it all that little bit more sweet. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. Going to be buzzing all the way home. It's nice to have the van stinking of carp for once. And yeah, what an epic session that was. So this will be out after Christmas, obviously. So hopefully you've had a great Christmas and a happy new year to you all.